So I happen to catch a few of these videos here. The case of a police shooting in Minneapolis, actually not too far from where Derek Chauvin's trial is taking place right now. And another case that I happened to catch the video. It's not a shooting, but it was an unlawful arrest of a black Army lieutenant in somewhere in some little bumsfuckville, Windsor, Virginia. I think I've been through there. On 460, not far from that Walmart DC out there. And it, I don't know. It's kind of shocked me seeing these videos. I mean, it's something. Things make you think. Anyway, I want to see the post. I still follow that from time to time. Charlotte Police unofficial blog, and one of the cops was talking about how in the first one, the one in Minneapolis, evidently the officer was calling out taser, like he reached for his taser, but he shot the black man instead. The dude was getting in his car or something. And the officer on Cedar Post, he's referring to it, and he says, should he receive qualified immunity from losing his house? Now, I know people out there are going to tell me that if we get this stuff pushed through, that cops are going to stop doing their job. Cops are going to get scared, and they're not going to want to act and fight crime. They'll just be hidey hole, and they'll be just sitting in a hidey hole eating snacks and watching Netflix and basically not doing their jobs, glazing over their jobs. Basically, trust me, there's ways to do that. There's ways to come to work and give a half-ass job every day, and every so often you do something to get attention. You do something to like you're doing your job, and you go right back doing nothing. There's ways. It. I guess I'm different than most people because I look at things differently. I'm able to see things a little differently. I thought about how many jobs that I've had that I've heard of losing their jobs for nothing, for stuff that's very small, that's very minute, that they shouldn't lost jobs for. And I thought about all the different things law enforcement has, the administrative leave, which basically means you fucked up and we're going to pay you while we're investigating it, and you don't have to come to work. I think you got to be by the phone. You have to be able to respond to the chief's order within 30 minutes or something. I don't think anybody does that. And I thought about how for police officers, if they were really upset about these things, they could do things to actually make society better, and they could do something about that sense of injustice. That, yeah, people shouldn't be fired for small things. People shouldn't have this stuff happen to them. There shouldn't be such a stigma against mental health, but there is. And it gets me with law enforcement. There's a sense of they're a protected class over, hey, let's fix society. Let's make things better so these things don't happen. So I don't really care about police officers that are irritated about the qualified immunity discussion. Society's been this way for a lot of people. Things have been unfair for a lot of people. There's a lot of people who lose their jobs over nothing. Officer, suck it up, buttercup. it further shows me that for law enforcement, they are up to the class, and that many of them are totally out of touch with reality, woefully out of touch with reality. And that's just what that is. I don't feel bad for them. And someone would say next, do I feel bad for our communities if they do? I feel like I've matured in a lot of ways from when I was in school, because now so much of crime to me is inequality. I've never met a rich drug dealer. I never heard of a rich drug dealer. Never. And if there is a drug dealer that's doing well, I guarantee you he's done time. I guarantee his people who are working for him have done time and have been through the ringer. This idea that people sell drugs and just make it rich, and that society, like, they should work like the rest of us. Like, I don't, that isn't what I've dealt with. Most people I've met or dealt with to sell drugs are barely making it by. And they can't, or they feel like they can't do anything else in society. You know, it's just more jingoistic, macho bullshit that we're spoon fed, that we're told. That's just, there's no truth. There's no truth in any of it. There's no truth in that. I just I mean, I watching USA Today. I think they had like a show going on, and they had a snippet with a police officer that had been hurt, and he was talking about how he had PTSD and mental health, and how you know, he wished there was more sense in law enforcement, people that we need to love each other in law enforcement, and it just for some reason it kept in my mind, it kept hitting me that that's a societal thing, and that's that tough guy stuff that the Republican Party pushes significantly. That society's becoming soft, and we need to be hard, and the gays are taking over, and the pedophiles are taking over, and the sissies are taking over. That's that. That's what that is. I mean, do you need me to explain? That's what that is. That you're soft to ask for help. You have a lack of moral fiber, that you have a internal defect because you are having an emotional response to macabre, gruesome things and acts of inhumanity that you have witnessed. That's that's society. That's law enforcement, yes, but that's society. And if you think that's a problem, then you should get in with me. You should want to fix that. Not just, well, we're police, so we're special privilege. And I just want to create more special privileges for police while everybody else is losing their jobs over. That happens all the time. I can give you stories of folks that have lost jobs over things that they shouldn't have lost a job for. Guess what? That's society. That's American society. That's American values. This is what I mean when I tell you guys about what's the guy's name? Guy from Ted Cruz was at the RNC. He was talking about how America's not the party of the country club. America, Republican Party of the country club is the party of the steelworker. And I said in a video previously, that's bullshit. American Republicans are in love with the idea of the steelworker. It's important to understand it. Conservatives are in love with ideas of this hardworking, tough guy, and he's never making it. He's just barely struggling to get by. I've known them kind of people, and they're tough. But you understand that things could be better, and we don't have to live this way going into the future. We don't need that. And you've got fucking trillionaires out here. You see what I'm saying? You're in love with the idea of these guys that are busting their ass and scraping to get by and struggling. You're in love with that. And same thing with law enforcement. You're in love with the idea of this enforcer of white supremacy who's upholding the meritocracy, who's upholding the iconography that you believe America is. That's what you are. There's plenty of folks that have lost jobs over nothing. I don't want to hear this bullshit that because cops pull their gun instead of their taser and they kill somebody. That, oops. Well, yeah, he was frustrated. It happens all the time. I had a friend of mine, a deer hit his truck. Police viewed it. It was totally legit. I think he wasn't cited or nothing. They brought him back to the yard. They were gonna fire him. They said they were like, we think he fell asleep. Yeah. They were gonna fire him or suspended him for something he had no control over. I just want you to understand this idea that policing is this any moment I may have to fight 20 men, and I may encounter the devil, and I may have to shoot him 20. Hey, I don't want, listen. There's crackers out here that works. That's fine. That ain't gonna work with me. There's plenty of people I've known who've been through the ringer for shit, and I almost lost a job or lost a job over stuff they shouldn't have lost a job over. That happens. Welcome to capitalism. Welcome to society not valuing the worker. And that's what you should be fighting for, or fighting against, or struggling for, is the inherent value of the worker. Thank you for listening.